What is up? I'm your host, Gabby, and welcome to the Shit My Roommate Says podcast. Come vibe with my guests and I as we share our stories and open up about the taboo topics that roam around in most people's minds. All right, welcome back to Shit My Roommate Says podcast. I'm your host, Gabby, and today we have with us my wifey for Lifey, the original, the one and only Stephanie. Give it up for my girl.
Hi, Wifey. How are you?
I'm doing splendiferous now that I can see your beautiful face. How have you been?
I'm much better now that I can see your beautifully amazing. I just want to squeeze it and just be like, I missed your face.
I have not seen you. I didn't see you all of 2020. No.
Yeah, the last physical time I saw you was Jilly's second birthday.
Yep. So
now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
COVID, man. COVID.
COVID's a
Fuck
bitch.
it. I'm like, I told myself, I really told myself initially coming into this podcast and like wanting to start it that I wasn't going to cuss. I wasn't going to do like any of that. And then as I started trying to like regulate myself, I only felt myself like telling myself like,
fuck it.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? Like, nah. I gotta be me. I gotta do me.
I mean, come on, this is called Shit My Roommate Says. You can't not cuss in it.
Exactly. Like, I was fine doing the like shit word, but like I was really trying to stay away from like the F word. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not trying to use it excessively, but
no, of course. You're just trying to use it whenever it's appropriate, which is, well, right now, whenever we want to.
No, exactly. I wanted to have it on reserve, I guess. Like I wanted to use it, when necessary.
To sprinkle it every now and then.
Exactly. But so what I'd like to do, if you've listened to the most recent episodes, I like everybody to introduce themselves and kind of, tell us how we met. So feel free if you want to share some of what you remember from way back when.
Okay, so yes, my name is Stephanie. We have been friends since, oh my God, it's going on 12 years now. Now that I think about it.
Holy crap, man.
Bitch, we're old.
Dude. No, but, so in my regular 9 to 5, I, deal with what I deal with. So I choose to keep my 9 to 5 out of what this is, just because I'm like, you know what? It's two separate personalities, because my 9 to 5, you're going to get professional, Gabby. You're going to get like a manager of the year, like Gabby.
You're gonna get stuff done and be like, yes, man, let's go. Yes, right now, let's go.
Let's do it. But in this one, I kind of want to just be more relaxed, and I want everybody to kind of see the side of me that I don't really get to show during the primary time of my life right now. So
no, I completely agree. But I know back to the subject. From what I remember, we met at an audition, a theater audition, because we had to be an actress, because we were just so weird like that. But
it's extra.
It was very extra. And I remember, what was the show? I think it was Arabian Nights. If I remember correctly. Yeah, it was Arabian Nights. We met, and I don't know how we started talking, but all of a sudden we were just like, Wifey.
And then it just so happened that, you and Bobina turned out to be
roommates. Yeah.
Then, y'all two, and then Bobina knew Lil Mama. And then I met Bobina and Lil Mama
and then all of a sudden it's just we just all came together.
Just kind of like worked and meshed. Like we were just all so different. Like there were just so many different backgrounds and demographics to us. And somehow we just we made it work. And I love
exactly.
And, you know,
like,
seeing the group that we built back then, like it was some of the prime years of my life. Like, I love that part of, you know, being able to just walk down memory lane and remember that part of it.
like, I would not change that for the world. Like, all of us, it was just, I don't know how we did it, but we just clicked. Like, we were all a puzzle piece and we just formed together, and it was amazing.
And it was so funny because, you know, I'm sure we can all just admit it now. Like, you were just so
White.
white. Like, I love you to death, but damn, girl, like, luckily you were in Corpus. Bitch could get a tan. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
You came from Corpus. I thought you would have visited Galveston once in your 18 years before you visited Corpus. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved you. I love you to death, but girl, you were white.
Girl, I know I'm white. Bitch, have you seen me?
Okay, you know that movie. You know that movie I'm talking about. You know that movie that I recollect to every time. Beauty Shop.
Yeah.
You're just Lynn. You're just like, you're that odd man out in the situation. But
I'm not from I'm not from Hicksville, Tennessee. Come on.
But I mean, what did she say? It was God, I could remember that movie tomorrow at the drop of a hat, but trying to recollect it now, it just is drawing me. I know it's like Blue Ridge or something like that, but
oh yeah, Blue Ridge, Tennessee, yeah.
Blue Ridge, Georgia, something like that, yeah. And you know, so the thing that I was so just amazed by you was that, I mean, hello, Corpus, the demographic is really kind of just mostly Hispanics. And yeah, you know, we met at the university, and I mean, from there, you had a wide array of people, but you gravitated to a full group of Hispanic men and women. And you just made it work for yourself. Like, you were just like, yes, I'm here. What is up, world? My name is Stephanie. I'm Gabby's wifey.
Yes. Wifey for lifey.
Wifey
Forever
for
and ever.
lifey. 12 years later, this is where we are. And
yes.
And that is actually what brought me to this episode with you. I really wanted to have you on because 12 years, man. 12
yep.
years. And
they say after 7, it's a lifetime friendship.
That's right. That is right. I've heard that. And I think you were actually the person that's told me that, and I've believed it ever since. Street cred, man. I give you that street cred. But you know, I believe it though. You and I, man, we've made it work. We've moved cities, we've changed phone numbers, dated different people. I mean, you were the maid of honor in my wedding with Mr. Before.
Yep, I remember that.
So I mean, yes, like I just feel like we've been through some crap together.
We really have, but also if you think about it, like a lot of friendships, they'll have those arguments that could end it, but you and I never really have had an argument or a disagreement that I can think of.
I can't think of an argument personally.
See?
I can't think of an argument. I know there are times where I'm sure that like I got on your nerve and like vice versa, but I can't ever, I mean, I feel like this is, you know, like Elton John with his best friend. Like I can't ever recall an argument in, you know, I'm sure they had what, 20, 30 years already on them, 40 maybe.
I'm sure probably closer to 40.
To our 12, like I really can't recall an argument ever with you.
No, same here.
I think because you and I've just had that kind of like understanding, because we've already come from such different backgrounds, you know. It's kind of like, hey, if we're feeling some type of way, like let's just kind of like call it out there. But you and I think because, you know, we've utilized the term wifey with each other, we've always been able to just be 100% honest with each other, even when we didn't want to hear it. Like I remember, oh my God. And I remember it killed me. It was like our first year of being in college, and you were auditioning. And bless your soul, you were trying a song that just did not work for you. It did not fit. And I had to tell my wifey at that moment and break her little heart into a million pieces and just say, girl, that ain't your song. That ain't gonna work for you. Like, you need to think of a whole new song. And you were so gung-ho about it. And that was the worst part. It was like, I didn't want to do that to you. I don't want to do that. But then, like, at the same time, I'm like, you know what? She calls me her wifey because she wants 100% honesty from me. And then from there, we changed your song, and look at that, you graduated with a degree in performing arts. You know, like, I mean, that tells you something. I meant the best for you at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, that degree is all yours, honey. You made that happen. But you saw your strengths and your own weaknesses. Get it, queen.
Yeah,
Snaps.
queen. Oh my God. But yes, oh my gosh. I don't even remember what song it was, but no, that I just remembered that now. But I'm trying to remember what the song was that you changed, that we changed it to. But no, I know the reason that we just worked so well is because, like you said, we can be 100% honest with each other. It's like, girl, that ain't gonna work on you, girl. Yes to this one.
Yes. For some reason, you know your name, just like Wifey. Like, I feel like if you
I'm the only one.
Yes. And I've told you since day one, you have the mom hips. So it just made for the perfect wifey nickname, in my opinion. I'm just like, well, this chick already has it all. Like, she's the total package. Like, just look at her. And then for the fact that, like, you can now rock, you know, we have now seen in all 12 years, you can rock the beach bum look. You can rock the California girl. You can rock, you know, Captain Marvel. You can rock this, you know, like sexy librarian. Like, I'm just like, this chick, like, you know, I associate you with Captain Marvel, but are you sure you're not Magneto? Or like, oh my God, why is her name blocking me? The one who can change, her, like,
oh God,
appearance.
Mystique.
I said Magneto. That's a man. That's a dude.
Got the M right though.
DC would, like, be so mad at me. They would rip the tattoo that is on my arm for getting that wrong. Exactly. Like,
I revoke your DC-ness.
I feel like a laser tattoo would kind of be like, that would be the same.
Just see all the ink just like,
Like,
where you going?
Bring my Wonder Woman back. But no, I wanted to have you on because, you know, to me, 12 years is a milestone, man. Like, that just sets us up for the next 30, really, the next 20, 50, 100. I just, you know, like, we're going to be those old viejas in the retirement home. You know what? I don't even believe that we're going to be in a retirement home. We're going to be living in our own little casita, like, in this neighborhood. Like, I don't even care if it's going to be in the ghetto. Like, you know us, we'll be strapped with our Glocks. Like, we'll be fine. But
we'll be the cool ass women on the street, the old woman with the glasses. We're gonna be having the parties, just mimosas at like 7 a.m. Like, girl, let's go.
We're gonna be walking in our velour tracksuits. Yes, with our Pumas or our Adidas on. I could totally see this. We're gonna make it happen. It is gonna be there. And then,
or it could also be a mixture of the one of my favorite movies is Practical Magic.
Magic. Oh, Midnight Margaritas. Yes, queen. See, this is what I'm telling you. 12 years of friendship. This is how well we're able to understand each other. We finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was about to say. Oh, I love it. You're going to have to be on here so much more.
Yes, girl, I have stories.
But
we all have stories.
You know what? 12 years, right? 12 years. A lot has gone on, and I feel it really sucks to say, but like, in 12 years, I really I really haven't conversed with you since Jill's second birthday. Mind you, she's already past 3. She's already kind of going like a few months after. I feel like it's the perfect opportunity to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree. I know, like, with 2020, with all the COVID and everything that was going on, and it, like, I don't know about you, but I know with a bunch of my other friends, I had to kind of back up, and then you realize a second later, it's like, it's December. What the fuck happened?
it was hard because, you know, typically I always would see you for Jilly's birthday. Now was just the bonus, but like I always saw you for my birthdays. Like that was always my gift from you to me, was that you would bring me some sort of baked good, some sort of cookie or pastry that
Or the Moscato Primo Amore.
Yes, the cupcakes.
Yeah.
Love it. And, you know, like that would be our gift. And then like we would spend the weekend with each other, even if it was a day, because you'd have to work on a Sunday or whatnot, or you need to get ready for work. But like we would be able to spend that time with each other. And, you know, now like when COVID happened and last year I wasn't able to do anything with my birthday, it hurt because I've seen you for every birthday, basically.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you for every birthday, really, realistically, since I was 18. No, since I was 20 years old. I will take that.
Yeah.
Because 18, I didn't know you. 19, we had already kind of separated, only because like it was already end of the year. Like we had already kind of like gone home. My birthday was at the end of the year. So I know I drove home on my birthday and I didn't see anybody.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, like I saw you from birthday 20 to birthday 28. So birthday 29, going through the pandemic, it was just, it was horrible, dude. Like it was horrible. Like I kind of like, I built this facade over my postpartum depression, over my anxiety, that I was fine when I really, really wasn't. Like I was really going through it. You know, side note, I got better, but yeah, dude, COVID sucked.
Yeah. COVID does suck. It did suck. It still sucks.
Yeah, it does. I'm talking about it in past tense. We're still going through it. If COVID was a sound, it would be this. Yes, exactly.
You can turn that into a ringtone.
COVID is calling. Decline or answer. Send to voicemail. COVID-19. I could just totally see it. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what the sound would be, though. But you know,
yes,
I'm glad that we were able to at least catch up now, even if we only have a few minutes or whatever that we have. So while I at least have you, tell me more. Like, tell me more about you and what's going on. Like, tell me it all.
Okay, well, basically, I'll start after Jilly's second birthday, because like you said, we haven't really talked, or we haven't really seen each other since then. But at the time, let me see, when was that? That was 2019. Yes, 2019. I was living in my very first apartment all by myself. I was so excited.
Yes, queen.
Even though it was so I know you don't know Houston that well, but there's a spot in Houston called Greens Point.
No.
For Houstonians, we call it Guns Point. It's ghetto. It's super ghetto. But it was super cheap. But it was super cheap, and it was a little 2-story townhouse for like under $1,000. And I was like, I ain't passing that shit up, even if it is Greens Point. But
I lived in Austin for like 2 months, like in the summer. And I lived off of 35 in Rundberg, and apparently that is like the ghetto of Austin. And I'm like, well, if I can survive the ghetto of San Antonio, I mean, the Austin area shouldn't be that much worse. But like, I completely understand where you're like, Guns Point, because it's like, you know, over here we have like Murder Bach. So I'm like, oh yeah, y'all got those over there too? Relate.
Right. But no, I stayed there. I switched careers. Actually, I mean, as you know, I was a swimmer for many, many, many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I before that, I was a lifeguard. I was an assistant aquatics manager. I was basically my manager's bitch. I did everything for not enough money. I had no social life. Like, it had its pros and cons, as every job does, but it was draining me to the point where I was not enjoying swimming anymore,
Yeah.
and I had to get out of it. So I went to a temp agency because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. What, like, the only thing I really know how to do is, well,
Side
swimming.
note, at least your hair looks amazing. Just saying.
Yes.
I know that water wasn't doing anything for your hair.
No, 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 no. It's like I had to keep it short just because I was in the water every single day, and you know what chlorine does to the hair,
All
especially
day,
my
every
hair.
day. All
It turned
day,
my hair
every day.
green. It turned my hair green. I looked like the Grinch.
Well, now you look like Black Widow, so you did something right.
Oh, well, thank you. um, but anyway, I was able to change careers, and I actually got into construction. So luckily, not the physical part of it, because even though, again, swimmer, I ain't doing that physical part. Mm-mm. No, thank you. But no, I joined a new company. It was a family-owned business, and they were able to train me on all equipment stuff, counter stuff, and eventually the goal was to get me to do something called outside sales, where I go out and try to get contracts and then make a commission plus a salary, which would have been really, really good. So I was doing that for a while. Then I met my current boyfriend, Jesse, and that is going really, really good. We're actually living together now.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Um, I know in August it'll be 2 years, which will be my second longest relationship, and I'm haven't been happier. So
I know exactly how you feel.
hmm
So aside from Mr. Before and now now
hmm
Chef and I next month are going to be 3 years, and
hmm
because he's basically been around since Bad Girl Jewelry was a month old.
Yeah.
He's kind of picked it up from there and hit the ball rolling, and yeah, we're going to be 3 years. So
And I'm
y'all
so
are going to
happy
be,
for you, honey.
and I'm so happy for y'all. 2 years. That is amazing. Like, I mean,
hmm
I can only recall different things from past, and
Yes.
you know, not trying to step into that if you don't want to, but like
Oh no,
even
we
just
totally can. I mean, you and I know like what happened, but obviously people don't know what happened, but that is a big part of our 12-year relationship.
it really
Um
was like
mhm.
it was
So
so it was so random. It was
it
so
it really was. And let's call him what should we call him?
hold on, let's figure it out. Hold on, let's see here.
I want to say one name, but if he ever watches it, he'll know that it's him. I mean, he obviously gonna know it's him.
Let's go
But
with Voldemort. He who shall
yes.
not be named. His
Okay,
name is
Voldy.
okay. Is that going to be like copyright infringement, like or something? I'm not going to get in
How about
trouble.
Voldy? How about Voldy?
Voldy,
Voldy.
Voldy. Okay, his name can be Voldy
Yes.
because he looked moldy. I'm just kidding. But no, okay. So I had met Voldy
hmm
when, dude, I'm not gonna fucking remember. Voldy. We're gonna
I
call him
think
Jolly Green Giant for punny reasons. How about that?
okay. Okay, that works better. So from now on, no more Voldy. It's Jolly Green Giant.
Jolly Green Giant. Thank you.
Yes. But
So Jolly Green
I
Giant and I had met because, of course, all of us were kind of in like that theater scene,
hmm
and I was 18. I didn't know.
girl, I was 18 too.
And yeah, so like it is what it is. Like one
Like
thing
he
led to
was he was
another.
actually a senior in college, if I remember. Yeah, he was a senior.
Uh-huh.
And he was hanging out with a bunch of freshman girls, which was kind of interesting now that I look back on that. Hmm. kind of red flags right there. But we were 18.
Let's leave it there. Like, let's leave it there.
Let's leave it there. Okay.
I'm a mom now. My daughter can do this later in life. So yeah. Anyway. So
but,
yes, we met Jolly Green Giant. Then he total creeper status. Now that we look back on it and can reflect.
But at the time, we were like.
But at the time, we were just like, you know what? This guy can buy us alcohol. It is what it is.
Exactly.
You know how many margs I got from that dude? Like, it was it was great. And all I remember was like, to me it was just that. It was like I didn't do anything aside from like whatever. I mean, I flirted, I got some margaritas out of it, I got some apps. Like, was in college, like
exactly.
It is what it was. But and then all I remember was like several months later into like maybe like the first no. It was several months into college, and then it was like right at the beginning of like the first semester. Second semester. Second semester. And then he just comes up to me with you, and I was just like, oh, they know each other. Okay. All right, what is up with this? Right. Awkward turtle.
Awkward turtle.
And I just was like, when y'all came up to me and were like, hey, is it cool if you that we're dating? I was like, the fuck.
So I met him, I want to say I did meet him around that audition time, but I honestly don't really remember. I just remember that
that was not him. That was not him. That was, I know the name, but we're gonna keep him out of it too.
Yeah, no,
let's just say the twin resembling ish to Jolly Green Giant. But that time that I saw you walk off with that dude, I walked like right behind you, and I was like, you better go home right now. You better go back to your dorm. She has no business with you. Like, I cock blocked you.
Yeah.
I not cock blocked you. So sorry.
You cock blocked him.
I was like, hell no.
I forgot about that. I honestly forgot about that shit, but now I remember. It's like, oh fuck, what the fuck?
No,
nothing ever happened with him. Thank God.
Thank God. No.
No.
I would see him around the campus. He was just so gross. Like,
no really
joke.
Was.
Like, I would look at him just to see who he was with, because
this is Creeper. This is Creeper, not Jolly Green Giant. This is a different person.
This is Jeeper Creeper, not Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
So Jeeper Creeper over here would just, like, to me, that's what he was. Like, he was a creeper trying to just
get with every girl he could see.
Yes.
And it was weird.
You were so
I was naive. I was.
I was gonna be nicer, but like, yes, naive is a word, but you weren't aware, like, you weren't familiar with like that people would do that. I'm so sorry, but like you were just so
I was
young.
I was I agree.
Unfamiliar, unlike cultured like that, to me it was like holy shit, she really doesn't know.
No, like, I always saw only the best in everyone, and I mean, that's who I was. I always was like, oh, this person is gonna be my new friend. Nothing bad can happen. Now I look back and it's like, bitch, what the fuck were you doing? You stay the fuck away from him.
I just remember I saw you walking and you're like, yeah, we're gonna go. Oh my God. I was just like, no, you're not.
No, I do thank you for that.
You're not gonna go. You are not going anywhere. She's not going with you.
No,
She's not going anywhere with you. You're gonna come with me. Wifey, now get your bag. Thank you so much. Give me her books. Thank you so much. I'll hold those. Let's go. Bye.
No, I do remember that. But back to Jolly Green Giant. I didn't really meet him until beginning of second semester. It was actually after my birthday, because at the time, I had just ended it with I was dating
Greg.
Someone kind of.
Greg.
Well, Greg had like just ended, but this was someone else. This was someone I met during the break.
Shouldn't have said his name for privacy reasons, but I doubt he'll even listen.
No, he won't. That's okay. But anyway, so at the time I was dating someone else, and we'd only been like, we just started dating, and then I met Jolly Green Giant through Bobina. I think it was
Really?
you. Yeah. So from what I remember, because
he would go out with us.
Mhm.
Yes.
So one night, you and Bobina, and
because of me. Ew.
so but from the first time I remember meeting him, I think it was either right before or after my birthday. I don't quite remember.
Before,
but
because we went out to that place that had all the bras hanging on the ceiling. And we went for your birthday, and he was buying us drinks. I think you were turning 19.
I was turning 19, but no, we went to Olive Garden.
No, I remember that night, yes, and I have the pictures for that. But we also went somewhere else for your birthday. We went to a bar, and I wish I could remember the name of it because it was small. It was small. And
Well, he didn't buy us drinks because I only drank at your house.
well, he bought us drinks.
He bought y'all drinks. He didn't buy me drinks. That's okay. Anyway,
He bought somebody drinks. But we were there. And I remember there was a chandelier with bras.
Mm-hmm. So it was before my birthday, and I was in PJs. Y'all were about to go out, and then he came in, and I guess he was waiting on y'all to get ready. And I looked like trash. I was in PJs. I had my hair up. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't remember. I don't give a fuck. And we were talking, and I just remember, like, he and I, we were talking, and we somehow hit it off. And I think at one point he said, I'm going to be really bored with this, so can I please have your number and entertain me? And I was like, okay, fine. Here's my number. And
sure, because he was so bored.
Of course. Now I look back and it's like, he was trying to be smooth. It didn't work. He still got my number though. But anyway, irrelevant. But we were texting throughout a chunk of the night, and then we just kind of hit it off from there. But I was dating another person at the time. We'll call him B. Just keep it short, sweet, right to the point. And that was kind of a long distance because he was back in my hometown.
I remember that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why exactly, like, I went back to Greg because I thought it was a relationship you had there. No, you were talking to somebody that was long distance. I remember that. I do remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, because we broke up. When did we break up? I think it was just before spring break.
That, but like right when you and Jolly Green Giant started dating.
Yeah, so
I thought it was like right after.
Yeah, so I broke up with B just before spring break because he was going to come and see me. And so before then I was hanging out with Jolly Green Giant, and I said, I don't think this is going to be working between me and my boyfriend at the time, so I think I'm going to break up with him before he gets here, just so that's not awkward or anything. And I did, and it was really ugly, and I broke down, started crying. I called Giant, Jolly Green Giant.
Jolly Green Giant.
I called him.
It's okay, because I totally was editing the other episode, and I realized that I technically said Chef's name once, and then I caught myself and then like didn't say it again. So technically I have said Chef's name once. I can only hope that people respect the privacy on it for the people that don't know him. But yeah, I've said his name once in the shit my roommate says history so far.
I think it'll be okay. It is what it is. But no, yeah, but then we basically, I think about a week or two later, we started dating, and it was basically on and off for about 5 years.
I was gonna say, how long did it go on? It
was on and off for about 5 years. Shit kind of hit the fan at one point, and this was a huge red flag. I should have done something about it beforehand, but he was my first. So there was that. He was my first.
I remember that.
And afterwards, I had my annual doctor's appointment and everything. And I think about a week later, she called me and said, "Oh, you have chlamydia." It's like, I beg your fucking what?
You never told me this.
I didn't. I thought I did. Oh, well, surprise! It's clean. I'm clean, by the way.
I feel
Fixed
like our
it.
whole love life was written about a sandwich. Like, seriously, like, who are you? Is your name even Stephanie?
but
Just
no,
kidding. Just kidding.
no,
Let's go.
I know,
Let's
girl.
go. Continue.
Anyway, so I called him because I was like, babe, did you give me chlamydia? And the first thing he says is, did you cheat on me? Like,
oh no. Okay. I am so sorry. Oh my God, bad wifey award goes to me. I remember this. Yes, because
I think I called you after I called Joseph or Jolly Green Giant.
Yes. And I want to say I went to Del Mar at the time.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't go to the same school. Yes.
So yeah, so yeah, he automatically,
because he instantly accused you of cheating.
and I said, dude, you were my first. And that should have been a huge red flag right there. It should have been a huge red flag. But again, I was 19, was in love, was not a virgin anymore, and I was like, I don't know.
You had to learn on your own.
You do have to learn on your own. And would I change it? Yes and no. It was a learning experience. I wish I could have changed some things, but in the end,
I'm sure you've told me, but you know, for the sake of this story, like, how did y'all end?
So after I graduated, he and I graduated college at the same time. He graduated with his master's, and I graduated with my bachelor's at the same exact time. And I was telling myself I'm going to go to California and try and, you know, make something of myself. And he was very respectful of that. And I even told him, you know, while we're gone, if there's someone you want to date, just tell me and we'll end it.
You right were open. You were
we
okay
were
with like an open relationship in a way.
Yes, but I told him, you've got to tell me. I don't want secrets. And so
so had he been with another person sexually, you would have been okay with it. You wouldn't have been ticked off at all had he just told you the truth.
Had he told me, I would not have been ticked off because that was the agreement. So when I was in LA, nothing really happened per se. Went on a couple dates. That was about it. But I told him about it, and at one point, I think it was, I'm gonna say October-ish, we were talking on the phone, and he said to me, if I move back to Texas, or he moves out to LA, would I marry him? And I said yes. So you would think that's a proposal, but would you not agree that that would be a somewhat proposal? Because I've had this conversation with a few other people, and they said, yeah, that's essentially a proposal.
If he were to have moved from Texas to California, or you were to have moved from California back to Texas, would y'all have married each other, basically?
Yes.
I would have taken that as like a right-handed proposal in a way. Like, I guess to me it would have been just one of those like contingent proposals, but to me, I'm one of those, like, I even have a topic like I'm waiting to use at a later time, like with clarity and communication. Like I'm one of those, like, bitch, don't fucking try and say you said the color was yellow when you clearly said that the color was red. Like,
yeah,
no, I need you to just tell me what you said. Like, is this what we both want? Like, you either want to marry me. Like, I want to just know. Like, I'm not going to read your mind. Like, we're not going to play the game of like, if I move there, because to me it's like, I guess I've just been put in that predicament. Like, well, if you do this, then I'll do this, and I was dumb enough to like do it, and then like nothing happened. So to me it's like, nah, like, actions, man, actions. But
and like I look back on it, and yeah, there should have been more to that, but again, I was still in love with him.
You were young.
I was young and in love. How old was I? I was 23.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I was already married.
Yeah, he was.
I had already been married.
Yeah, he was my first and so at the time, only serious relationship. So afterwards, I made the decision to move back to Texas, and it was after Christmas because I came to see you and whatnot. And then he came over, and we'd stay the night together. And then I go back to Houston because that's where all my shit was, and we were trying to figure things out. And he said he was going to go for New Year's to go hang out with a few friends, and I was going to go hang out with a few other friends in Houston. And
it was that
I believe
time.
it was, huh?
It was then.
Mm-hmm. And so I found out on Facebook he was tagged in a New Year's kiss photo.
Oh my God, if the viewers who were like hearing this on, just audio could see my face right now. Holy
yeah.
I'm shitting bricks.
And I found that it was either like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, I don't quite remember, but it was like, who the fuck is this? And that's when things started to kind of click, of different things he had been doing. Like about a year prior, he had blocked his sister on my Facebook supposedly, because apparently there was something going on with them. And I looked back and I was like, that's not his sister. Who's this woman? So I believe it was the next day I messaged him. I was like, we need to talk. And I asked him, what's going on with this? What happened to, the proposal? He said, well, we've been going down different paths these past few months, and I don't think it's working out. Mind you, this is all through text.
I've been broken up through text. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's like the most shitty feeling.
And the cherry on top of that is he's now married to her, the same girl. As far as I don't know if they're still together, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, that was my longest, and I'd probably say one of my most interesting relationships. I'll just put it that way. I learned a lot.
You live and you learn.
You do live and you learn, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, and now I know after that it affected my relationships up into my current one.
So are there any differences between what is the dynamic now between you and Jesse? Like, how are y'all as a couple?
We are phenomenal is the first word that pops up. He is older than me, which is no big deal.
So if I may ask, how old is
he? He's going to be 39 this year.
No, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
So he's more experienced. He was married, common law married, I should say. So he knows like ins and outs of an actual relationship and what's supposed to be healthy and what isn't healthy. There's a lot of communication in there, which is very, very good. He is very hands-on, loving, very affectionate, which I know in like with that relationship with Jolly Green Giant, it was there, but there was also bits of narcissism, and I know you agree with me on that.
I agree, because we both agree that it was the same way with Mr. Before. Mr. Before had the vein going for him. He, it was all about size, like, and whatnot. But
yeah, I know with Jolly Green Giant, it was about like he wanted to put on this image and kind of have like the control and what. Not that like he would control every aspect of my life, but like it almost was like he put on this facade.
Yeah, of course.
Especially around like
actors unfortunately have many faces.
Right. But no, it's so much different now with Jesse. Like I love everything about him, and I know he loves everything about me. He treats me like a queen, and that's what every woman deserves, to be treated by their partner like in such high standards.
Yes, ma'am. All day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the differences that you clearly see between like then and now?
Like with the person, or just the relationship, or just like everything in general?
The relationship, I can, and I guess everything in general.
Mm-hmm. Um, Sorry, I just drew a complete blank. I had a complete brain fart.
So I guess that
But
blonde moment still gets you every now and then, huh?
I'm still a natural blonde, honey. It's still gonna happen every now and
You're
then.
like, it's in my DNA.
but but no, I think it's just also the fact that he's a kid at heart, but he's definitely not, you know, a child. He's got the experience, which I think is good for me. Because I dated guys who were closer to my age, like Jelly Green Giant, and then the few guys before Jesse, and I don't know what it was. They just seemed very immature. I guess that's the word I'm looking for.
So does Jesse have kids? Does he have children?
He does. He has one son. His name's also Jesse.
Okay.
He is very sweet. He's an older kid,
How
so like
if I may ask,
he's
like,
he's a preteen.
gotcha. Okay.
I'll put
Okay.
it that way. He's preteen. But he is very sweet, very smart. I don't want to get too much into background
Yeah.
and everything. But no, he comes from an interesting background, but like I said, he's very sweet and very
So
smart.
are y'all full-time parents? Or do y'all co-parent? Like what is y'all's
Um, that's probably something I shouldn't be talking about, but we do our best to co-parent with mom. I'll
Okay,
just leave
no,
it at
no, no.
that.
That's what I was
Okay.
asking.
Okay. Okay.
That was my. So y'all have y'all
Hmm.
balance a co-parenting relationship. Okay.
Right now, yes. At the beginning, it was challenging, but right now, yes. Hmm. We'll just put it like that.
No, no, no. That's actually and that's what most people do.
Hmm.
I too being in a co-parenting relationship, I'm not gonna ruffle those feathers.
Yeah. No.
There's just no point, like there's no point to add fuel to a fire. And
Yeah.
but no, so when I ask about it, like it's more so to just kind of understand the idea
The
that
dynamic of it.
the dynamic really, yeah, because
Hmm.
mind you, I met you single girl. I met you college, like
Hmm.
fresh from the farm, you know what I'm saying? And so to see you now, like, you've evolved into this, you two are part of a co-parenting relationship, whether you choose to see
Hmm.
it that way or not, because I too, with Chef, I'm in the same boat because he has, a child of his own, my bonus daughter. And it is that situation, and it is
Hmm.
definitely sensitive, and you want to give your best efforts to it. So like, no, I applaud it. That's where I was just like, oh my gosh, like my wifey is like, my wifey is a mamacita. It's like, oh my gosh, okay. Like a whole new, title to you. Like,
Hmm.
so does his son kind of like view you within kind of like stepmom tendencies, or are you still
I'm
just kind of
I
like
I
my
would
dad's
say
girlfriend?
I would say it's a mixture of both. Like he's seen not
Y'all
with
have that mutual respect for each other.
yes, yes. Hmm.
Perfect, man. That is the best. That's all. That's the best you can ask for, in all honesty. Like, it took a minute for me and my bonus starter to get there, and I even can probably say to this day, we have definitely had our fair share of ups and downs, but
Hmm.
as long as I feel like both parties are willing to put in the time and effort, then it makes for a very, very great relationship.
No, I
I love
completely
mine. I
agree.
can only assume, definitely you love yours. So
Hmm. Most definitely.
it's just so
it's it's
that's just
definitely
so awesome.
been interesting. It's been interesting. It's not something I thought would happen, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. But
I was just about to say,
yeah.
did you ever see yourself being with somebody who had a child? Like, was that
At
something you
at
ever?
first, no. At first, no, because I always, everyone dreams about the one partner and then your kids and things like that. But I think it also helped that with my previous job, I was a swim coach. I was able to see like all the different kids and get like that, oh, the baby fever. We'll put it that
Gotcha.
way. I had the slight baby fever. It's like, oh, you're so cute. Okay, here you go. Go back.
Yes, yes. No, no, no. I get that. I really, really do. And I guess
Hmm.
to me, that's why it's so kind of fascinating to kind of see you in this really new light, because this has never been a role I've ever seen you in. I've never even fathomed the idea of like child and wifey together. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Because
Not
I feel
not
like,
necessarily like, okay, I'm
well, no, no, no,
I
like,
don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but like
well,
I
no, no, no,
didn't mean
like
it like
what I'm saying. Oh, no, no, no. I know what you mean, but like, I know like with a bunch of my like friends from high school and like a few other friends from college, they always saw me as the mom figure.
I've always seen you. I agree with them because I've always agreed too. I've always seen you as a mom figure with mom hips. But to me, you always carried this persona of like, if I wanted to go see the Pacific Ocean, I'm going to go see the Pacific Ocean. Like, if I want
Hmm.
to go learn, if I want to go eat sushi in Japan, I'm going to go eat sushi in Japan. Like, you've always just had this like go getter personality to me, this go getter just persona. So to me, it's like, I wanted to go be an actress in California. I went to go be an actress in California. So to me, it's like, sure, I saw you becoming a mom, but maybe in like late 30s, no joke. Like,
Hmm.
I saw you traveling the world, doing everything you wanted to do, eating popcorn of different flavors because that's something you enjoy. Like, I saw you doing like all of that, just doing it on your time, your accord, you're traveling. But like, and then, yeah, sure, settling down, having a child, living a happily ever after, but within time.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like, well, like, we're not far off from each other, and you're now within you're in the role of kind of like a stepmom. But I love it. I love it. I don't know. It just makes me feel like we're all growing up now.
I know.
Because
We're getting
literally, like
old.
when you look at the original, A&M Islanders,
Uh-huh.
Mina, Lil Mama, you, me, like all of us have kids except you. And I'm
Except
bad
me.
thing. Bad thing. You're a fur parent. You got a fur babies.
I have 4 fur babies.
Then you got more kids than all of us.
Yes.
No, I,
And they don't talk back.
I give it to the girls. I've considered having an additional with chef here and there, and it's
Hmm.
something that we're like talking about. It's not off the table yet, but it's definitely just
Hmm.
not in the cards anytime soon. But I applaud the girls because I'm just like, y'all have two each of the most beautiful babies ever.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, and they're just so perfect looking and like all the time. And I'm just like, how can y'all do it? I barely can deal with one. Like, was I this bad to my mom, like growing up? Like, is this
Oh.
what I deserve? I was like, I can't do it, man. It was just, I think
Oh
about
my
having
goodness.
another child and then I'm like, okay, I need to definitely double my anxiety meds.
No, girl, like I've been that way too. Of course, like, all my friends are like my age now and they're popping out babies and I'm like, oh my God, you're so fucking cute. But then I'm like, tie my tubes. And then I'm like, I want a baby with Jessica. And then I'm like, tie my damn tubes.
So you have like a 9-year difference. Have y'all talked about like the idea if it were to ever
We've
happen?
we've talked about it. He's open to the idea, and of course he says ultimately it's my choice because I'm gonna be the one who's bearing it. But there's been talk of if we do have one, we both like a girl, but there's also times where it's like I don't know if I want to go through that, like having like going through the whole
So
process of everything.
Are y'all being, if I may ask, are y'all being
Mhm.
like safe about
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah. We're still being safe about it. There's no chance
Gotcha.
right
That's
now.
that's what I was wondering. I was like, am I going to be at the app pretty soon? Like,
No,
do I got a
no,
little at the wifey?
no, no.
You're like, no chance in hell.
You could be dear to kitties.
I mean, they can stay over there. I'm kind of allergic, but I love you from afar. I
Okay.
will send them chewy treats. Like, y'all
But
need little treats, y'all need catnip. Drive yourselves crazy.
but no, like I said, it's an idea we're having right now. No, definitely not right now. But in the future, maybe. But it's like I'm at 50-50. Like there's days where I have the baby fever and I have the full Pinterest board of baby shit. And then there's days where I'm like, I see the actual pictures of like the disgustingness and I'm like, mm, damn it tubes.
I agree. Like I've had Jill,
Hmm.
and with Jill was hard. That
Yeah.
pregnancy was hard. And I've told Chef many times, I'm like, it's not necessarily that I don't want to have a child, or I don't want to have a child right now and all of that.
It was hard.
I'm a little scared. I was like, nobody really understands everything that I personally went through. Like,
Hmm.
nobody really understands that, Madre was in the hospital for a very long time during my pregnancy. So it's not like I had like my mother there, holding my
Hmm.
hand at my doctor's appointments, or
Yeah.
going to lunch with me every other day when I had like a craving for something. Like, I didn't really have that, and like my family just was really divided at the time, just because we all had like a lot of personal things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So while I had, a strong village, I really didn't have like my full family there. And then I'm honest enough to say, like, I pretty much did like all of Bad Girl Jory's pregnancy by myself.
Hmm.
There was like a month where her dad kind of came into the picture and then exited at his own leisure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I pretty much did that by myself, and then dealt with the preterm labor complications by myself, dealt with
Hmm.
labor and delivery by myself with my mom and sister there, but by myself.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily how I pictured it per se, or how I was ideally planning on having my first child, but
Hmm.
those were the worries that I always pictured, thinking about having my first child with somebody. It's like I always wanted it to be just a smooth transition. So
Hmm.
to know that, that's something that y'all might be thinking about, like, that's, I only hope the best situations. I only, you know, the you deserve the village, just like the next person. It's I'm just like, I never thought my wifey would really consider like that next venture. So it's
Hmm.
nice to see that like our friendship is just going to the next milestone.
Hmm. But of course, I told Jesse, bring first.
I tell Chef the exact same thing. I'm like, well, I have pre-qualifications to having a child.
Hmm.
And I say that because I didn't get Bad Girl Jewelry was my miracle. So, and we all
She
know
was.
that. Yeah.
Hmm.
And, with her being my little miracle baby, I want to do the next one right. Like, I want to be
Yeah.
able to say, like, I got this right the next time. That wasn't, I don't know. I guess that's just how we were raised.
No, yeah, of course. Like you want them to have that stable, like hopefully two parent system
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. So, I mean that's what everyone wants. But of course, everyone comes from different backgrounds and things. But I hope if y'all do have that next child in the future, that's what I hope for you.
Definitely. And
Is
likewise.
is y'all two are together, you have the ring, you have a nice big wedding that you want.
We've definitely gotten to a really great place now, so I can only hope for the best. You never know what this year brings. It's very fresh,
Hmm.
it's very new, and I can only say the same for you, ma'am. So how long have you and Mr. Jesse, I'm sure you probably told me, but I'm so sorry. Like the pregnancy brain is still real. I'm not pregnant, but like it still stays, it lingers for years after. How long have y'all been together total?
In February it'll be a year and a half.
Okay, so a year and a half. Okay. So, and then y'all moved in together after how long?
Actually about 6 months. Now that I think about it. It was fairly quick, but we were seeing each other almost every day or at least every weekend when we first started dating. And then my lease was ending and was just like, you know what, let's move in together, let's see what happens. And then lo and behold, COVID happened.
Okay, so that definitely brings us to a great topic. So how has y'all's relationship been through COVID? Like, has it been hard with the quarantining? Are y'all both working from home? Like, how is y'all's setting environment?
Unfortunately, we both still have to go into work. My work is taking precautions and everything like that. So we have masks and things like that. It's been good. It's had I wouldn't say ups and downs. It's had challenges. We both have, anxiety for certain things. Like, he's worried about if, money, things like that. I'm worried about, just everything, because I'm pretty sure I have anxiety. I've never gotten it diagnosed, but I'm sure I do, because my brain never shuts up. Even I'm trying to sleep, just like
You'd be surprised.
But it's been good. It's been interesting because he's also the first one that I've lived with. Like past relationships, we've never lived together. And
how does your dad feel about that?
I mean, he loves Jesse.
I've always wondered that. I always wondered if like what your dad thought, because I know your dad was a big like influence to you. So I've always wondered, like, does her dad like him?
Oh, my dad loves him. He loves that he's a mechanic. So
oh yeah. Okay, so I never really realized what he did, because I know he like performs.
So yeah, he is a musician. He's a very good singer, guitar player. But due to an accident, he hurt his hand. He can still play and everything, but it affects him after like an hour or two.
Gotcha.
But he tinkered with cars for years, and so right now that is his job. But he definitely wants to get back into music, and I think with this whole quarantining, it's helping him get back into it. Like he's trying to play more to build his strength back up, but
he's utilizing a creative outlet. Yeah.
Yes.
I understand that. Hence the podcast.
And I, like, in all honesty, if I could work from home, I would love to work from home. But right now, unfortunately, I can't. But
it's not always the best.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. But it's also like, I guess it depends like what you're doing. I know I was looking into sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I was looking into maybe some other options, like all through home, but it's also like I just got this promotion, so I'm like, I'm just gonna wait a little bit and just see like how this goes, and if it's like, it's not really what I'm doing, I'm gonna try and work from home while doing that.
How long have you been with the company?
So the construction company, let me see, I started with them, it'll be 2 years this year.
Well, there you go.
We'll put it that way.
You have some longevity.
A little bit. I do know we just got bought out, so we were just purchased out by a larger corporation. Went from family business to
multi-owned.
Yeah, multi-owned. Thank you. And in turn, they gave me a promotion, and they're going to start my new job training this month, in February. And so we're going to see where that goes and everything. But it's my first salary, so I'm like, this is interesting. But I'm going to see, how it goes. I'm going to give it maybe a year or two. And if it's like, this maybe you want to do, not sure, maybe try and look for something on the side, and then maybe try and build that up to go to do the whole switcheroo thing. But I'm trying to have an open mind with this job, and then maybe eventually working from home, because if I don't have to drive to work, I would love that.
Speaking of driving, I do have to touch. How has everything been since your car accident? I know that
Oh,
your car got damaged and stuff,
it
and
did.
that was one of the last conversations we had with each other, really, like on the phone. I love that about our friendship, that you and I are able to kind of just like pick up and then like
Mm-hmm. Like
leave
pick up where we
off.
left off, like no time
Yes,
passed.
exactly. Like I really appreciate, and honestly, that
Mm-hmm.
we don't really like hold each other to like time constraints. Like, oh, you didn't contact me in this much time, we're not friends. No, like we
No,
understand
because
life happens.
exactly, like you have your separate life, I have my separate life, and it's like I'm gonna text Wifey. What's up, girl? Haven't heard you from you
Hey,
forever.
girl,
What's
hey.
up? but to the car. So for those who don't know, I was involved in an accident actually the week of Halloween, which
Yeah.
sucked. Um, Basically, long story short, I was on my way to work, and car in front of me was turning right. I was going to go left, and this car on the other side was turning would have been my right, but they failed to yield, so they hit the first car, and in turn, the car that failed to yield hit me, hit my passenger side. So they were completely at fault because again they failed to yield and everything. So her car was totaled, the first car was totaled, and then my car luckily wasn't totaled, but it had significant damage. Everything got settled, so we finally got um, both passenger doors replaced. They finally just replaced the hood, so it's back to where it was. But it was
So
a
you were able to
3 month
keep your
process.
car.
I was able to keep my car, thank God. I was like, I can't afford a payment right now.
Because your car is paid off, no?
It's paid off, thank God.
Lucky. I just bought my new car,
hmm
and I love my car. I loved my Honda, but I love this Honda, and I love this Honda so much more.
hmm
So I don't know if you've known, but his name is Jake Ryan.
That's so cool.
Right? I love it. He's just so I was putting gas in him the other, well, I wasn't putting gas. I was standing out there looking pretty and out, and see, I almost said his name again. So, and Chef was putting gas for me,
hmm
and I'm just standing there looking cute, and I had touched, like, because like especially right now, like you're just like sanitizing everything. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to touch a surface and then like risk it, like I don't want to
hmm
risk it for the biscuit. Like I'm sanitizing everything. and,
Yeah.
and so I was like sanitizing like the side of the car door where like the window is, because I had just touched it and like touched like my card and whatnot, and I was like, and he looks at me and I was like, Chef looks at me, and I was smooth talking to my car, and I was just like, I'm so sorry, honey. I didn't mean to put germs on you. I'm going to only give you the best antibacterial. Like I was just being such a dork with it. And Chef is just looking at me like, "Oh God, like shut up." But no, so I went from, so initially you've been through the timeline with me with all these 12 years. Like
With
that's
Chip.
love me some Chip. So Chip was my blue Honda, my
Your blue
Fit,
Honda Fit.
my Fit, and he was so
Which I love.
beautiful. And then that's
I
how, like,
love Chip.
that's what your car resembles now. It's kind of like his cousin.
hmm
And so from there, I had like two cars in between. I had my Mazda. I had a Ford that was it turned out
hmm
to be like a lemon. But after those two cars, I've had Hondas since. So like
hmm
I had a couple of CRVs.
hmm
Um, and then my most recent that I just bought, like I traded one of the CRVs. I almost had it for 5 years. I was about to pay it off. And I had bad girl jewelry already, and with bonus daughter and Chef and Leo, like there was just like no room. I
hmm
I was feeling so cramped in there already. And mind you, the car was about to hit like 95,000 miles on it. Like it was already getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And my dream car is, of course, the Pilot. Like, always loved the Pilots. And there was one day where I went and took my car in to be serviced, you know, just regular oil change and whatnot, maybe a few other things. The loaner car they gave me, dude, was the car I'm driving now. I made such a deal and like negotiated that I got a steal. I got a steal for my car. And at that point,
Uh-huh.
it was like, I can't even complain. I can't say anything. Like, I'm going up so much dollars, but I'm losing 90,000 miles and I'm gaining 5 additional years. That's brand new. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. And they're paying off my car and they're doing this and they're doing that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm fine.
Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good.
And so now Jake Ryan is sitting beautifully, you know, outside looking great next to my house. Hi. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Right. No, I know, during college I had what did I have? I had the 90
Your
Chevy
truck,
pickup.
your white
My
truck. I never
white
drove in it,
Chevy.
but I always knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of
No,
those, like, we always just drove my car everywhere. Like,
well, your car had more room in it. and it looked a lot nicer than my beat up 90s truck. But that's okay.
I mean, I love you, but like, you want to take mine? Power windows, AC. I'm just kidding. You know what? No. You know what? I do take that back. I take that back because there were plenty of instances where you and me would get out of school on our late night classes and we would just sit in the back of your truck and we would talk, like right there by like the gas station, I think, or even like in the parking lot, but we would just sit there and talk and like listen to the waves and stuff. No, there was great moments to your truck, but definitely we took mine for transportation.
But yeah, right now I have my 2011 Honda Fit. Her name is Rogue. Because I can never find her in the damn parking lot when she's in between two trucks.
That's exactly what happens.
It's just like,
where did you go?
Where'd you go?
Where the glass is at, and teal.
Like,
I love it. I love it.
But I know with the accident, I was freaking out because I was like, I'm gonna have to get a new car. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to get a brand new car. I'm gonna worry about payments. But then I was like, I need a new car anyway. So I was looking at like the Hondas and everything because I was like, I really like Hondas. But I will say my insurance did me really good on my rental. They loaned me a 2019 Volkswagen Jetta.
Styling and profiling. I mean, it ain't a Honda, but I mean,
but it was a Jetta. I was like,
you know what's so funny? The Jettas always remind me of that part. Have you ever seen that movie, like The Other Woman, with Cameron Diaz?
Oh God.
My God, what was her name? Leslie Mann? Is it Leslie Mann?
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Okay, well, there's a part in there, and there's a part in there, and she's like, "Oh no, hell no! She drives a Jetta. Only hot girls drive Jettas." And then Cameron Diaz is like, "I drove a Jetta." And it's so funny because ever since that moment, and I've always thought it in the back of my head, but when they confirmed it in that movie, when Hollywood chose to put that in a fucking script, I was like, yup, now I know it's true. Because I'm like, I know only hot girls that drive Jettas. I do not know any ugly chicks that drive them. I'm like, all right, at least they know it's true. Their facts are straight.
Like I will say I got spoiled by that Jetta. It had everything, or I had a bunch of things my car doesn't have, because again, mine's a 2011, so there's no Bluetooth, there's no review camera, there's no alerts on.
I've been drunk in your car.
You have been drunk. I'm like, that just reminds me. Oh, your birthday where your friend threw up in my car.
Not my fault.
Not your fault. It was his fault because he got drunk and got stupid and we lost the keys for some reason. I don't know.
He lost them. That's his
I don't
fault.
remember what happened with the keys, but
I
at
remember
some point,
nothing. Oh my God, too many drinks.
yes, that was the point. You were supposed to have a lot of drinks, but I remember I said to him, "You are cleaning the inside of my car."
Didn't he come
I'm
back
not.
like the next morning and clean your
He had
car?
to come back the next morning, yeah. But the thing that sucked about it was I was driving home, and I think it was like I was maybe an hour out to my house, and I was like, he missed the spot.
Oh my God.
So I get home, and I'm like, I can't tear anything apart, but I'm like lifting up the mats, and he missed one mat behind my driver's side. Like there was the mat, and I pulled it. I was like,
Oh
there's
my
still throw up
God.
in there. Oh, I was so pissed.
He tried so hard.
He tried so hard, but he missed it.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Like, that's the thing I've always loved about you. If you are like upset about something, it's going to show on your face. Like, if you're annoyed, if about anything, like, it's going to show on your face. Like, that's one thing I'm like, it's just wifey. It's just how she is. That's just the way her
Like,
face
wifey, what's wrong?
I'm mad, Gabby. This is why I'm mad. Hold on. Let me get it out here. Gabby, this is why I'm mad. I'm mad because of A, B, and C, and because you don't understand. I'm just kidding. I would never mock you like that. You sound way better.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery, darling.
Oh, flattery! Yes!
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was like, I think the worst thing that happened in my car other than the accident, but just, that's, ugh.
I think the thing that makes me the most happy with us is that no matter where we're at, no matter what we're doing, we are always here. And I think that's why I wanted to have you on. I think you and me have definitely proven to ourselves at the very least, look how much can happen when like friendship is just effortless, when there's no when chemistry is just there.
Exactly.
And I do agree. Like I always laugh when I would tell the girls, I'm like, we're gonna be the best of friends, because it's like I've made friends, I've lost friends, I've let friends go in life, but it's like the friends that I've chose to remain, like no matter what, I've always tried to keep in touch with, like you, Bobina, Lil Mama, definitely y'all three for sure, at least. But it's nice, it's refreshing to know that friendships that really speak from love and trust and loyalty, it speaks volumes, because look, here we are 12 years later, and a lifetime more to go.
I hope so. I know so. Put it that way.
We know so. We've made it this
Girl, we
far.
know so.
We know so. Okay. But no, I just, I wanted to have you on because you're very dear and near to my heart. And I don't think that I'd be the person who I am today if it wasn't part for your influence, just for, always being so supportive with me. And I needed to at least show the world who my Wifey for Lifey is, and show them that, even when you think that you're not making enough time for yourself, making enough time for your friends, that true friendship is really there, man. Like, we don't have to talk to each other every day. I mean, hello, look at this. I caught up with you on my podcast. And y'all have been together for 2 years, and I know about it.
Hey, don't worry, I know.
I will meet him. I will meet him eventually and tell him I send him my best regards. But yes, we will meet soon. And it was such a pleasure having you on. And
I'm glad I could be here. And I hope we can do this again and just have more stories, because this was fun. I would
love to. Now that I know you're kind of doing stepmommy role, it kind of opens you up for a little bit more categories, ma'am. So I'm definitely excited to have you back on. And again, if there are any topics that you definitely hear or that, you know, definitely you come across, let me know. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to put them on here, even if not with you, you know, with different people, different,
Mm-hmm.
you know, different categories, different mindsets. But
Absolutely.
thank you so much for coming on. And
Of course,
is there
wifey.
anything you'd like to leave our viewers with this evening?
Um, Definitely reach out to your friends, and you know they have their lives and everything, but definitely, I would just say definitely talk to them, even if it's just a hey, I'm just thinking about you. Hope you're doing good. Sometimes that's all people need, and just know that they still love you, and they're not going anywhere.
I could not agree with you more. I think if there is anything that I've been able to like see and enjoy these past 10, 11 months that we've been experiencing COVID, is that I enjoy the little things so much more than anything. Like that little text
Mhm.
to me means the world. You know, when I get snail mail from people, I'm like, yes, like this makes my
Yes.
day.
Yes.
So I completely understand. And again, thank you so much for coming
Of
on.
course.
Um, I'm going to be signing off. My name is Gabby. I am your host. Thank you so much for watching Shit My Roommate Says podcast. Stephanie, it was wonderful having you again.
Thank you for having me.
I don't think I've called you Stephanie in 12 years. So again,
No.
wifey, much love. Mwah. I love you.
Mwah. I
Best,
love
best,
you.
best. And thank you so much. Bye,
Of
guys.
course.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's topic and guest, just stay tuned and subscribe.